Mahinda out, Ranil Wickremesinghe in. After Mahinda fled the country, Wickremesinghe was blunt and said the next couple of months will be the most difficult ones of our lives.
2019 නොවැම්බර් මාසයේදී අපේ විදේශ විනිමය සංචතිය එමරිකානු ඩොලර් බිලියන 7.5ක් තිබුණා. නමුත් අද භාණ්ඩාගාරයට ඩොලර් මිලියනයක්වත් සොයා ගැනීමට නොහැකි තත්ත්වයක් උදා වෙලා. ගෑස් නැව්ගත කිරීම සඳහා ගෙවීමට අවශ්‍ය ඇමරිකානු ඩොලර් මිලියන 5ක්වත් මේ වෙලාවේ මුදල් අමාත්‍යාංශයට සොයා දීමට හැකියාවක් නැහැ.
Sri Lanka's dire economic situation is no secret. Sri Lanka's new Prime Minister also mentioned how the country has petrol stocks that will only last a day. The country has even run out of medicine to treat heart disease and anti-rabies vaccine. The new administration plans to privatise Sri Lankan Airlines. The carrier lost 45 billion rupees, that's $124 million, in the year ending March 2021. Sri Lankan Airlines was launched in 1979. It has a global route network of 126 destinations in 61 countries. He said that the loss shouldn't be borne by the poor who haven't even stepped on the plane. Sri Lanka has previously failed to find a buyer for the debt-laden airline. At least 8 parties had shown interest in a 2016 attempt to sell the carrier, but finding a buyer this time might be difficult. Less than a week into his new job, the Sri Lankan Prime Minister said he was forced to print money to pay salaries. This will pressure the nation's currency. The government's revenue is around 1.6 trillion Sri Lankan rupee, while expenditure is currently 4 trillion Sri Lankan rupees. This means that the budget deficit is 2.4 trillion Sri Lankan rupees, which is 13% of the GDP. The country is also running low on its foreign reserve. Foreign reserves are needed for imports, and Prime Minister Wickremesinghe tweeted saying that getting $1 million is also a challenge. The country's foreign reserves stood at $7.5 billion in November 2019. Ranil instructed the staff of the Prime Minister's office to slash the expenses of his office by 50%. Its Prime Minister also pledged to announce a new relief budget to replace President Gotabaya Rajapaksa's development budget. The cabinet will propose that Parliament increase the Treasury bill issuance limit to 4 trillion rupees from 3 trillion rupees. They forecast a budget deficit of 13% of GDP for the year ending December 2022. The Sri Lankan Prime Minister has appealed for outside financial help, including from India. India is slowly emerging as one of the biggest providers of aid to Sri Lanka. India has committed $1.9 billion and may lend an additional $1.5 billion for imports. Delhi has also sent 65,000 tons of fertilizer and 400,000 tons of fuel, with more fuel shipments expected later in May. It's committed to sending more medical supplies too. So can the new Prime Minister save Sri Lanka?
For more informative videos like this, keep watching India Today News Mo.